see her smile, and everything's fine. There's no other smile like a smile from that wonderful girl of mine. For where she walks, there are roses glowing, where roses never grew. We touch and I see a rainbow glowing across a heaven of blue. The bells will ring, the sun's gonna shine when I tie my heart to the heart of that wonderful girl of mine. And there ain't no ifs or buts. And the blacksmith down his chestnut underneath spreading chestnut tree. There she said she'd marry me. Now you ought to see our family. Spreading chestnut tree. Well, now that you've heard of my romance, I'd like to teach you this chestnut dance. First you hop step along the room. 1, 2, 3, hop, 1, 2, 3, hop. Circle your partner, prepare to sing. Spreading chestnut tree. Then repeat that hop step along the room. 1, 2, 3, hop, 1, 2, 3, hop. Circle your partner, prepare to sing. Spreading chestnut tree. Now swing backward, swing forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, stop, stop. Swing backward, swing forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, chestnut. Again that hop step along the room. 1, 2, 3, hop, 1, 2, 3, hop. You should see our family. Meet the spreading chestnut tree.
Hello, chat. Ooh, wait, hold on. I bet this is gonna make the audio sound better. Ooh. Hey, Amyalithus. Which one's Jeff Keighley again? Which white guy in a business suit is Jeff Keighley? I'd go to the weird cult conference where they're just presenting cool bones. So I'm having a little bit of trouble speaking. you may not hear me talk as much. I had surgery yesterday, and they had to put a tube down my throat. And that sucks, because now my throat feels weird. But we are here today to see some stuff that, to see what it was like to do, to be a gamer in 1995. I mostly chose this because that's the year I was born. I thought it would be kind of funny to see what it looked like. What my existence brought to gaming. You know what I'm saying, chat? Yeah, I may not talk all that much. Y'all want to see a cool music video? Anyway, into the main event. A 3.5 hour long video on E3 1995. This comes from Anthony Parisi's YouTube channel. He says about the description. The following is a video I took during the very first E3 in 1995 at the LA Convention Center. The video contains all 3 keynote addresses from Sega, Sony, and Nintendo, as well as footage from the show floor. Okay. Very Tall Bart makes political YouTube poops. Okay. I gotcha. I've seen horror movies start like this before. I'm a little worried. Wait, is this the year of Sega does what Nintendo don't? Because then we will see a murder. Or Genesis does what Nintendo don't? I can't remember what it is. Anyone have any clue what that game is? I still think that's a pretty sick, hold on. Yeah, there it is. I still think that, Head for Saturn is a pretty sick advertisement. Like, that's a really good print page advertisement. Extreme Execution Expo should be like a a haunted house escape room.
1995 will be Yogi Berra's birthday.
What?
So we all need to prepare ourselves for a heavier than usual onslaught of Yogi radio and TV commentators. And if I may, I'd like to kick off the birthday observance by repeating my own personal favorite hit. When I come to a fork in the road, I take it. Now that's not only vintage Berra, it's also good for kicking off speeches. It can even be construed without an awful lot of effort to be representative of what I'm about to say today. I'm going to discuss choices. I'm going to discuss. And E3 works as a pretty good symbol of some change our industry is experiencing. Here's this great big show designed solely for interactive entertainment. CES, great success that it's been, was never really designed for us. It related better to older culture. It forced some of the luxury TV companies on Earth to at least figuratively put on gray flannel suits and, well, sort of fit into a TV buying, furniture selling mode. But even that worked okay until recently. Now, interactive entertainment has become far more than just an annex to the bigger, broader electronics business.
What the hell is he even talking about? I feel like these are cultural references that I don't understand. It definitely feels like he's been saying jokes, but he's also been saying words that I don't know. Genesis does what Nintendo was toward the end of the NES's lifespan. Okay. I'm pretty sure this one has N64 footage. So we're a little bit beyond that era. Can you turn up the video a bit? Let me know if that's a little bit better. I will say, I can also barely hear it. There we go. That should also help.
And you know, if I just spent $1,700 to $3,000 or more on a new multimedia platform for my home office, don't I want to get as much use out of that expense as possible? Well, sure I do. Multimedia platforms have some technical advantages over TV-based systems too. PC monitors typically offer better resolution than TV screens. And back to the developer community. If I develop games to the PC standard, I don't have to pay anybody a royalty. Another reason for me to look inquiringly in this direction. But now, let's examine these in a little more detail. Digital News and Reviews tells us that 10% of U.S. households own a multimedia PC today. That's about 10 years old.
Jesus.
Extraordinary increase over the year before, so only about 3 or 4% would make one. These are impressive numbers. On the other hand,
Dang, it really like puts into perspective how quickly we adopted computers.
that percentage is going to be between 35 and 40% of 33 to 38 million households. Now, if you're a developer interested in the big market, where logic
But like if in '95,
last year, a PC game sold 200,000 units.
your son might, well,
200,000 businesses.
the closed caption's correct. So you should be able to just read it. That's what I've been having to do a lot. Because he is very, very quiet. Hello, Lord Pouncelot. How are you doing today? Welcome to the stream. Also, that's a super cute emote.
Millions of units. At this moment in time, and for the foreseeable future, let's face it, Sega, Nintendo, and maybe a few others in our business are still the only really big game in town.
This is the first ever E3.
I just bought an expensive computer.
This is 1995's version of E3 before all of the RGB and bands coming out to play. It was just basically a regular conference.
And might want a little diversion on his work platform. I'll buy this item all the way. He'll buy.
This is currently the Sega presentation, by the way. We've got a Sega, a Sony, and a Nintendo one.
Far more likely. 43 to 42 years old, I bought my PC to work at home, to organize my domestic life, to try new educational software, maybe to join my friends and family on the internet, whatever. And yes, I have kids. And after resisting the pressure for months, I finally go out and buy a game for my 10-year-old boy. He's happy looking at the box, seeing the funnies in it.
You were 2 back in 95? I was just being born.
Slide that CD into the slot, hit install, and you get one of several messages. All of which basically say, sure, you did not think you
Dang, I'm old. What the hell?
Now we're talking time on telephone poles with a software company named Underline. Their customer service people. We're talking more trips to the computer store. You're upgrading docks, for instance, because of that pesky insufficient memory signal. I mean, nobody told you that you needed 8 megabytes of available memory to run that game. Or you're reconfiguring the soundboard after you spent 2 hours looking for
So you can call me young? Okay.
So the story goes on and on.
Literally just 2 years younger than you.
The moment arrived, the music pipes up, the animation begins, it's working. And then you realize, hey, I don't know if I want my 10-year-old playing anywhere near my home office and the business plan I just spent 2 or 3 months creating. So the next morning you make another trip to the computer store to buy a shell. That means every time you turn the computer on,
Yeah, you know that Sega Saturn, it's really gonna make a huge difference.
that's to get around to.
It's a legendary. It's gonna be legendary.
What are you going to ask yourself to entertain young Brandon or to help my business?
We're finally gonna bury Nintendo.
I believe that the prospect of spending a few $100s on a dedicated machine that plugs and plays on a much bigger screen in a room far better equipped to handle your son and his friends starts to sound like a pretty good investment. I think people who dismiss the dedicated game platform have never gone through this. People who write about technology are, for the most part, pretty adept at technology. They judge computers, understandably, I think, like you might judge any high-performance technical machine. Typically, developers and workers, and that's the name of the high-tech game. But in our game, we know things don't work that way. If you're truly going to succeed in the consumer business, your product has to work perfectly, right out of the box, first time, every time. Now, is Windows 95 going to deliver the kind of idiot-proof operability that someone like me needs? I think over time the answer is probably yes. That's what it's aimed. But that's still
If I could operate Windows 95 as like a 10-year-old,
in delivering the next
they shouldn't have any problem.
experience. Here's the fact to consider. Of PCs that could marginally run some of the newer games we're talking about today will require a Pentium 120 megahertz PC chip with Windows 95, a 3D graphics accelerator, 16 megabits of RAM, and more video RAM. And that's not your average multimedia PC. This is power user stuff, hobbyist level stuff. And even if it were available today, it would retail for over $3,000 lower. Now, please don't get me wrong. Multimedia PC games
Jesus. 3K. 3K in 90s money.
in the very near future, Sega will be getting into it. See, we're approaching the fork in the road, and we're taking it. But the truth is, PC games aren't going to kill game machines any more than VCRs kill the movie business. The myth I'm dealing with, let's not forget, it's a kind of all or nothing assumption I see too much of. It will be
Oh, that's interesting.
game machines. That's like asking, will it be sports cars or minivans?
Yes, I'm just watching this on YouTube. This is Anthony Parezi's.
For different functions.
70%
70% of the whole video game business
Uh,
consists of fast action and sports titles. A concept that most of the
video.
PCs
me go ahead and drop that link.
and not delivery. Most publishers today believe PC entertainment software sales will level off at about 20 to 25% of total entertainment software. But even this kind of market share predicting tends to miss a much bigger vision of the future of home
It's so interesting to hear them, because this is like,
we have now and extrapolate from there.
I can't remember a time where they really talked about like the money aspect. Like they're trying to sell people on video games because it's a conference. And like, I'm pretty sure the entire time I've been alive, E3's basically just been glorified like commercial with as much flash as possible. Yeah, no problem. You might be able to enjoy it a little bit better on your own, because I know it's really quiet on this one, Lord Prouncelot. And I can't make it go any louder, but maybe you on your end can. And, you know, Windows 95 was cool because you could play games on it, but you could also get the equivalent of a whole set of encyclopedias on one CD. Yeah. Hold on. I used to have a CD on for a Windows 95 game. It was like a weird educational game, and I can't remember what it's called. But I wish I had it again, because it would be interesting to go and like explore, because it was like a weird, surreal, like world. I don't even know. I don't even know that I can describe it.
Home by the year 2000, along with the chicken in every pot? Absolutely. But in the forms and platforms we haven't yet dreamed of. This is a business that's ready to explode, and there's room for plenty of competition.
Hey, thanks for the follow, Lord Bouncelot.
Delivery is not the enemy, not if you're the largest content.
Sorry, my voice is a little weird. It's a little bit hard to talk. I had a surgery yesterday.
Will forever depend on the whims and attitudes of the 6 to 17-year-old market. I hope some of what I just finished saying about greater consumer expectations will begin to put the
Is that dude wearing white gloves?
because this once hard and fast reliance on a singular age group and demographic is changing and changing fast. In 1992, the market
That's a cute shark. Yeah.
dominated.
I also have a bunch of follower emotes that you can use that are cute sharks.
Our reliance on the age segment is dropping industry average. 92, 62% of our sales went
We're kind of a big fan of the cute gay shark in this channel.
49%, almost half of our business is already with adults 18 or older. And that trend is going to continue. We're going to see a broader based group of ages and demographics buying interactive entertainment. Period. Most savvy industry analysts completely agree with this.
That's pretty cool.
Begin to ignore the 6 to 17-year-old boys.
Definitely like a good idea to like
We begin turning down the
for like getting tattoo stuff, or you could just like have it on a CD. That's a good, cool idea.
You'll hear lots of talk today and in the days ahead about next generation systems. The appeal to older players from those games will be obvious, but we're not forgetting the root that put us where we are. We will still make the hot,
Oh well, have a nice rest of your day, Lord Pouncelot.
not forgetting there's no rage,
Thanks for stopping by.
nor are we forgetting
It was nice meeting you too.
for the young observers of this industry. We've long noted that when you skew your product line toward the young, there's little room for growth. So as we begin to skew our products forward,
Yeah, happy weekend.
sophisticated consumers, we're giving kids room to realize their aspirations. We have hot new products awaiting launch on all our platforms. As just a sampling of this, let me mention Comic Zone, a Genesis product that represents a whole new game genre, bringing the nation's #1 print medium, comics, to life.
Absolute butt rock.
Popular TV and movie licensed characters to games.
I recognize that music, but I can't tell what it is.
High-end arcade technology in the home circle.
Oh, it was playing on a screen. Okay.
For Genesis, there will be
Hey, Amaya, Lethis, we should try doing a Virtua Fighter at some point. I always wanted to try Virtua Fighter, but I never ended up checking it out.
realizing this business is going to get harder. Producing revenue was never the simple population modeling exercise that we all wanted it to be. Now the variables we will all have to consider will require even finer tuned crystal balls. But that doesn't mean we're not going to work at it. Let me take a ball and I qualify myself in this business of defining markets for the years ahead. Number 1, 2, and 3 in that list of qualifiers is that I work at Sega. I don't believe there is a
What's my favorite butt rock? Obsidian.
with a better sense of the mind of the consumer than Sega. Yes, we got our start in the arcade business, learning about gamer expectations.
Gamer expectations.
Arcade entertainment so interesting, so compelling, and so addictive that you put quarter after quarter.
We're making the gamers get addicted
That means something.
to games.
Creator and marketer of arcade and consumer interactive entertainment in the world. I noted that one of my best friends among the competition said in a recent article, our heritage claim was much overused. Trust me when I say this, if any other company could claim the heritage of 40 plus years of understanding the mind of the game player, it would. What it's yielded us is unqualified and the most important criteria for success in this business. We create interactive entertainment hits in and outside the home. No other company does this. There's a new consumer mind out there, older, more affluent. This is a group that has positively proven it can be drawn to gaming when gaming delivers the kind of immersive experiences they want. To those of you who pointed Myst as an example of the kind of CD game young adults want, I say that's right. And we'll do that kind better on our CD-ROM platforms. Only our games will be faster, more sensually overwhelming, far more social and interactive. So what matters to this new consumer mind? It all boils down to this. People want a
Ooh, that could be kind of lame then.
experience that helps them relax, escape,
All right, we could try it. And if it's bad, it's bad. Or we could say it for the podcast when we get that started.
2 days, and Wilson will be contributing to that. The game is what counts, not what makes it work. In early movie days, it was technology. The first delivered sound, the first delivered color. Some two games, the first to deliver great speed, the first to deliver realistic sound and color. Now we believe our Genesis 32X and Sega Saturn technologies are better than their respective competitors. But we realize it's the software the consumer cares about. We're at the point where the experience of the game, the story inside the game, is what matters. Suspension of disbelief has always been the fundamental component of diversion, whether that diversion was books, theaters, or movies. Advances in gaming mean we will come to supply that component more effectively than any other medium. The interactive entertainment business is going to allow
That was a lie.
all of us to
He just lied because now the entertainment industry, the video game industry, is just trying to get the highest fidelity,
race car drivers
even at like the cost of story bait and stuff.
find new worlds that were formed
I don't know what story bait is.
in our dreams.
My throat just made that word instead of a good one.
Side-scrolling games, for all the fun and success they brought us, will ultimately give way to newer, more complex genres. Now please note this, I said ultimately give way. A long time from now. We expect to sell millions of Sonic and other great side-scrolling games over the next 2 or 3 years. So am I talking about a revolution here? Not really. But I am absolutely saying it's time for the press and the analysts to take off
Oh, no.
their hats for a change, to move the meter a tick or so to the right, to see that this is an industry that merely
Wait, he's talking about like making more 2D games. Nintendo's gonna come out and be like, here's the N64 with 3-dimensional graphics.
$1 billion 8 years ago.
Did he get rich or did he get fired?
Do I have any historical data to offer you? Let's look at the experience today in Japan. Sega Saturn has already sold 1 million units there. We anticipate that Sega Saturn's first full year in Japan will yield sales of 2.6 million. Now, if you conservatively translate that to the U.S. market, we expect to sell over 3 million units here in the first full year on the market. We think we sell more, but the extraordinary success in Japan means some limits to the supply in the U.S. are inevitable. We believe Sega Saturn sales in the U.S. before Christmas will be in the neighborhood of 600,000 units. You may have seen some argument in the trade press between Sega and Sony about who sold the most in the Japanese market. Well, we did. But the chessboard of the sales figures go way beyond just who sold more in one key Asian market. Together, the sales are fantastic. They mean
All right.
$9 or $10 billion number I referred to come true by going to the next level as quickly as possible and at a price as competitors. But I do know the kind of products we're bringing to market soon are going to hit that bigger, broader group of consumers like nothing's ever hit it before. We're going to push the bounds of what great arcade technology can do. If they're going to do that on people's TV sets at home. We're launching Sega Saturn with great software. Here's Daytona on Sega Saturn.
Do 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 do.
Games worldwide today. Our audiences say they want 360-degree immersion, great production values, super 3D visuals and stereo sound. Games like Panzer Dragoon will more.
Wait, I thought Daytona was on the Dreamcast. Was it on the Saturn first? Or did the Saturn come out after the Dreamcast?
And now, with the help of my able and charming assistant, Tim Dunley, let me show you what a top arcade hit worldwide looks like on the Sega Saturn platform. Virtua Fighter is the best fighting game ever done. It's number 1 in Japan, it has a cult following, and it's already the top 5 arcade hit in the U.S. and Europe. There is computer modeling, animation, all of these fighters, real fighters, real human beings practicing different.
I was gonna say, I can't believe that this dude is having like a full conversation while playing a video game, and then I realized that's kind of just the job that I do. That's just what I do. I just have a conversation, usually just with myself, while playing a video game. If I'm not mistaken, the N64 was really bad at making 2D games, which is why it had almost no 2D games and very few 3D side-scrollers, as opposed to the PS1 with had a few. I think I heard it wasn't like it was bad at making 2D games, but Nintendo heavily encouraged everybody to take advantage of the 3D feature, as opposed to trying to just make a 2D game. And even a lot of the 2D games were like 2.5D, like Kirby. So like, you know, definitely the PS1 probably would have crushed harder. And I forgot that's what they're probably going to announce. Man, I'm not sure any of these games look all that appealing. I guess they don't look like bad, but... I didn't even recognize almost any of the games. I know Myst, but...
Now, those games are either all done or days away from completion. Here's one that isn't done, but will be ready by Christmas.
Okay, that's pretty cool. It's really showing off. Yeah, look at the whole Colosseum crumbling. You could hear people in the crowd sound surprised because it's kind of it's kind of surprising.
Hard to believe young adults aren't going to find these games appealing. In fact, I believe everyone will find these games so irresistible that people are going to make the time and the budget to buy and play them. Is there developer motivation? Judge by yourself. More than 100 third parties are now developing Sega Saturn software for 1995, so we anticipate a full library of 80 outstanding third-party titles on retail shelves by Christmas of this year. I think the bottom line, perhaps the understandable bottom line, behind any media and analyst comments regarding market saturation, simply blown away.
It's so weird that he always goes back to a marketing play because games weren't what they are now. You don't really need to sell people on things or attach their brands. And video games kind of sell themselves these days. But back here, only 10% of people had a fucking computer. It's crazy.
A custom sound chip and a digital signal processor yields up to 32 voices and CD quality audio. I said the message wasn't technical, didn't I? The fact is, parallel multiple processes, such as we employ on Sega Saturn, makes bit counting an obsolete exercise. If you want to play that game, you could say Sega Saturn's 128-bit system, but I won't do that, I promise. Because gameplay, the graphics, speed, control, sound, and game design, all yielding magic, not bits. Gameplay will be evaluated on the magic it provides, not on some technical notion of bits per dollar. And our marketing will exploit that. The full thrust of our marketing efforts will be directed to make the consumer know how he or she will feel when playing Sega Saturn. You and the consumers will be hearing a lot from us, and a lot from everybody as our business approaches this new level. In advertising, for example, as our industry gears up for the higher tech machine launches, we're going to see some dramatic increases in expenditures from the business as a whole. For 1995, we're looking at $250 million in projected media buys. And that's just from the major manufacturers. That figure is up from $125 million only a year and a half ago. $100 million of that $250 million will be from Sega alone. And believe me, we don't spend $100 million unless we're confident of success. If you add in the kind of media purchased by the big retailers, such as Toys R Us and Walmart and Target, the figure balloons to $500 million. A keynote speech is no place for a point-by-point explanation of our marketing plan, but I hope you'll forgive at least some details about one of the more obvious components of the plan, our advertising. If Sega advertising to the millions of teens and young adults we consider our primary audience has been, well, occasionally shocking, it has also been honest and genuinely funny and communicated enough sense of product so that those TV sophisticates, the cynical 14 to 25-year-olds, knew we weren't just preaching to them. Well, advertising to an older crowd isn't going to be any easier. In fact, I cannot imagine a product category with a closer connection between successful advertising and product successes. But we're not backing away from the challenge. On the contrary, I think we move even closer to the edge. We might even be establishing new edges. This is not going to be simulation of gameplay.
Sega's edging.
Of how the game player will feel when engaged with Sega Saturn. Our
Edged.
to replicate the sensory overload this kind of gameplay will induce. The advertising objective?
Damn, they really are. They really are edging the gamers.
Here's a 60-second spot that we will be running as soon as we can manage. Welcome to the theater of the eye. Rod and Combs report to the orbital side. All right. We're trimming the toenails. What's that?
I wouldn't mind, like, having more commercials. Like, I don't mind watching a commercial, but I hate watching the same two commercials. Like whenever you're here on Twitch or YouTube or Amazon Prime, and they serve ads now. But if they had ads like that, I'd watch them. I'd be like, yo, did you see the new commercial? Because that's fun.
Let's look at two 30-second spots that ought to be equally effective in grabbing people's attention. Welcome to the theater of the eye. 500,000 polygons a second.
I remember this ad. Why do they have Klansmen watching? I don't think that's what they're supposed to be. But it definitely isn't a good look. I think it's supposed to be like tears, maybe? Oh, their shirt says cone on it. So I guess cone heads? Because I think they're all supposed to be like internal parts of your eye.
So get your rods and cones ready. Our advertising is very different. We're communicating how the body, the eyes, the ears, the nerves, and yes, the sphincter react to this new immersive experience. I think when Yogi said fork in the road, he meant opportunity. When he sees opportunity, he takes it. So do we. We're taking all the opportunities we can to make this business soar. And since I began my remarks with an announcement, I may as well finish with another. We started our rollout of Sega Saturn yesterday. We were at retail today in 1,800 Toys R Us, Software Etc.,
Yo.
electronic boutique stores around the U.S.
Those are my favorite E3 announcements. Where they're like, and if you want to play this, you can do it right now.
Software titles at retail in the next few days, 20 by August. Our total rollout will take the summer to complete, but we're starting today in store and starting today on primetime TV with these commercials. Sega Saturn is not only here now, it's out there. Thanks. And an honor.
It's out there. Such a good tagline. Man, I wish the Sega Saturn didn't suck. Real quick, I need to go get something to drink. I'm gonna leave you with something. We'll do whatever this is. I'll be back in like a couple seconds. What the hell is this? It feels like a nightmare. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but this feels threatening. I feel like I'm being threatened. Took me a little bit longer to get to my drink because I forgot what I was doing. They have, over the past 2 weeks since I've broken my wrist, I have been on so many drugs. Like, they gave me like fentanyl the day that I had actually broke, and then they gave me so many pain pills, and it's like, I'm ready for my wrist to stop hurting so I don't have to take the pain pills anymore, but like I am getting lost in the sauce here. Let's see what Sony has for us. Keanu Reeves? Johnny Mnemonic?
The world's first successful transistor radio.
The combination that started it all. Smaller is better. And bigger is way better.
Looks good, but how about if it's been bigger?
A movie the size of a paperback.
Roll tape.
Wait, I'm sorry, did that just say Sony invents the VCR? Did Sony invent the VCR?
Over 100 million Walkmans. Should that be Walkman?
Camcorder's the size of a paperback?
Okay, let's get busy.
What's a record?
This is a good way to sell your product. Like, Sony not having any skin in the console game, them like showing up and be like, here's all the stuff we've done to help technology progress. That's a very good way to get people interested.
Sony digital delivery systems for every media.
What's next?
Somebody should invent reverse medication that makes you sick when you're healthy instead of healthy when you're sick. Yeah. I think that's called poison. Was the original PlayStation 1 also a DVD player? I know I could play CDs.
Interactive in 3D. Big deals that don't have to be big. Be big.
Sony, the total entertainment company is now in the game.
That's a really big moment. As far as like gaming history is concerned, this is a pretty decently big moment.
New division to focus on the burgeoning multimedia marketplace, the Sony Electronic Publishing Company. Sony Corporation of America CEO Michael Schulhoff appointed Olaf Olsson as president of this new operation. As president, Olaf directs worldwide operations for Sony businesses that include Sony Computer Entertainment of America, Sony Computer Entertainment of Europe, Sony ImageSoft, and Sony Psygnosis. He also oversees sales and marketing operations for Sony's CD-ROM manufacturing business. At the same time, Olaf finds time to write. To date, he's written 3 novels, a collection of short stories, and a play. His latest novel, Absolution, has been published by Random House. Forbes calls the Iceland-born Olsen, quote, a top-notch Nordic novelist who may become that true rarity, an Icelandic Nobel Prize winner. And the story doesn't end there. Olaf is also a physicist from Granite University. In total, his background reflects the synthesis
Sorry, who the fuck is this guy?
and knowledge required to run a technology and content-driven business. Without any further delay, I'm pleased to introduce you to Olaf Olafsson.
The PS1 did not play DVDs, but it may have been able to play video CDs, so I'm not aware if it did.
You can tell from the video that
Yeah, I'm not sure.
conventional video game company. This morning, I hope to show you why that may be the best news our industry could possibly receive. I'm going to start by discussing this industry that Sony is about to enter, the interactive entertainment platform business. But first, let me know that I'm pleased I'm not welcoming all of you to Philadelphia. By that I mean that it's obvious to us all that we are not in a tent. Instead, for the first time, we're indoors at our own trade show. Industry momentum, accelerating to the tune of $5 billion in annual sales, has moved us from the CES parking lot. And it's no coincidence that Sony's PlayStation introduction coincides with this development. There is significant activity underway in the marketplace, and now is the time for
I can't tell what this dude's accent is. I feel like he keeps slipping into like various different ones.
But as we move forward, we need to look carefully at where we're headed as an industry. As an industry, we need to ask the question I'll attempt to answer today. How can we expand and in turn our business? How can we move beyond the current bit, the hypercycle, a 16 bit, and reach our 6, 7, 8, or even $10 billion potential? The answer is simply enough begins with technology. We all know our business is cyclical. Advances in technology come and go about every 5 years. 4-bit, 8-bit, 16-bit, and each new technology has promoted.
And yet we haven't had an advancement of technology in any significant way in like 10 years now, is it? When did RTX come out?
In the 16-bit past, technology certainly got us closer to achieving our creative goals, but not nearly close enough. And this is evident by the pending collapse of the 16-bit platform, which we're all witnessing much faster than anyone anticipated. Let's look at 16-bit technology for a second. Two-dimensional animated sprites that made it nearly impossible for the creative community to move beyond little-based puzzle type games. Look at sports games where the consumer craves realism. The software community certainly did its best to deliver, but it was still extremely restricted.
Yeah, no real advancements in technology since like 2018 at this point.
And the special effects consisted of a scrolling background. Imagine a rich film like The Shawshank Redemption. How compellingly
The Shang Redemption.
Morgan Freeman would only speak for 20 minutes without reducing the frame rate or without losing color from motion. And the computer platform doesn't offer the answer either. Computers are designed for easy access to entertainment. With all entertainment software, consumers expect plug and play. They want to plug in the hardware, insert the software, and begin to play immediately. Tom Kalinske and I agree on this 100%.
This dude just predicted the existence of plug and plays.
Applies to all content medium and always has.
I can't wait to play with SpongeBob's nose.
If you buy a book and want to read it immediately, there's no problem. If you buy
It's so long and wiggly, haha.
It's simple. If you rent a film and want to view it within minutes, you only have to push a button on your VCR. But if you want to enjoy your new CCTV launcher, you might have to spend an afternoon, a rainy Sunday afternoon, on an 800 number, finding out how to build the software.
is an extremely frustrating experience for the average consumer. The consumer wants a dedicated game-playing platform, not a multifunctional. My point here is that our future might be delivering easy access to enhanced entertainment driven by much, much better technology. It's the only way we keep on top of our target, the gamer. We must surprise the gamer with a new level of interactive entertainment that will sustain and grow his interest and attract new consumers.
I love the like
It is true that
disgust he has in his voice when he says, "The gamer,
gamers are demanding
gamers."
our key consumer is the digital kid who expects technology to be different.
The digital kid. Oh God, don't get Peter Molyneux over here. No, keep him away.
They live in a fast-moving technoscape with a soundbite and the 20-second commercial as TV, shop radio for breakfast. The internet is his lunch. But if we continue to serve him 2D scrolling games, he'll leave the table. As a result, we'll never grow as an industry. So the question is, how do we become dinner? We become dinner by finally delivering on that much-used phrase, next generation. And that's just what we have Sony had in mind. Next generation technology has to provide immersive entertainment. The immersive, evolving technology of the Sony PlayStation. It's a huge difference in interactive entertainment, and the whole industry is going
I love these kind of conference type things because these dudes are using like huge words, but they're not really saying anything.
experiences of other entertainment media. Media which have consistently delivered technological advances to enhance entertainment and to stimulate industry growth. We would never be watching them today with a better technology every step of the way. Sound, color, advances in camera equipment, sound safety, special effects. Just look at the difference
Is that the
song in Jurassic Park.
Paper Mario font?
Audiences demand to be wowed. Intellectual
Plug and plays were cool in their time. I got to the point.
and entertainment today needs to target several senses. The same
I got to the point where I could beat the MK1 plug and play super fast because it would crash if it stayed on too long.
the move to color, stereo sound, bigger screens, visual radio with the advance of MTV, VCR
I wonder if I can change the latency a little bit. You're a little bit
experiences at home,
behind.
of the public appetite through improved technology.
No, I can't change the latency on this.
Audience.
That's unfortunate.
So why am I talking about history? I'm doing that because the video game is, at its heart,
He's doing that because Sony doesn't have any history with video games at this point.
our entertainment
And they have to fill up a whole conference.
and better technology. Noticeably better interactive entertainment technology will free up the creative community and our content will improve. And since gamers buy the entertainment content, the rush of the experience, they'll buy more entertainment. But
That looks like the menu of some video game.
I believe we are certainly capable of advancing the industry. This $5 billion business, which many of you in this room have created in a remarkably short period of time. An industry as big as the domestic motion picture box office.
I'm just not that familiar with PlayStation 1 stuff.
And the dollars of entertainment's biggest consumers, the gamers. These consumers are more inclined to buy interactive entertainment than anyone ever before. Move up with it, and there is no adjustment curve. If you look at how movie and television entertainment improved over the years, you'll notice how much more believable the entertainment became. This is a lesson our industry must teach. Movies and television made it easier and easier for the viewers to suspend disbelief. Viewers encountered technology which became more invisible to them. The technology delivered a more seamless experience, which ultimately became more involving entertainment. Pre-next generation game technology still makes it impossible for the gamer to suspend disbelief. The digital kid will not get immersed in a 2D world with substandard graphics, animation, and sound.
Hey, the way
Move into the game, to the story, and to get immersed.
The price of dentists these days. I'll let PlayStation do a root canal under the L tracks.
Superior technology was developed to deliver an immersive, totally absorbing entertainment experience. Sony is a company dedicated to delivering better entertainment with better technology. And we've long been an innovator on both ends of the entertainment spectrum. We invented the transistor radio, portable music with the Walkman, the camcorder, the VCR, and the beginnings of the digital era with the compact disc. Everything we do is entertainment. From all sectors of consumer...
All right, calm down, Sony.
motion picture studios, music labels, TV series, home video, movie theaters. And all of this heritage has been invested in PlayStation. The technology and entertainment will deliver with the PlayStation are mainstay and not ancillary to any other business. Sony's commitment to the future of interactive entertainment
I'll be right back, chat.
come together. Sony believes in a full partnership between hardware and entertainment is reflected in Sony Computer Entertainment, the third Sony company to house hardware and software under one roof. This translates into a flow of resources between PlayStation technology and PlayStation entertainment, and it also translates into a cooperative flow of resources between Sony Computer Entertainment and Sony, the global entertainment company. The PlayStation represents a tremendously significant product line for Sony, and we are completely dedicated to
Did I miss anything? I'm gonna assume I didn't.
development, to manufacturing, marketing, distribution. Start with product design, by Sony, one of Sony's brightest technologies, is the Kenku Director, with the benefit of Sony's 20-year digital heritage. Take up its distribution by Sony's global distribution network. Continue with more than 350 worldwide Sony employees dedicated to software. Conclude with the allocation of marketing resources on a Sony scale for the PlayStation. What do you get? Well, take a quick look.
The PlayStation will immerse you in a seamless tank of unlimited sulfuric acid. Jesus. This is a hit piece. They're even doing the eye thing. Fuck you, Sega. JPEG video, full 30 frames a second. The PlayStation will take 2 limitless pills to limit itself. That movie's wild. I like the bass that they had. I know it was very quiet, but the bass kind of slapped.
Thank you.
possesses more than 400 and developers worldwide. And today, as we speak, all of these forces already are producing a new standard in interactive entertainment. Names that include Electronic Arts, Namco, Acclaim, Interplay, Virgin Interactive, Time Warner Interactive, Crystal Dynamics, Sony's own studios, and many, many more. The proven winners are now on the PlayStation team. PlayStation technology begins with a commitment to CD-based technology. A commitment that
CDs, not damn it.
and CD audio quality, which the ROM-based cartridges cannot serve. A commitment that also means short production cycles and investment in the best games, not the biggest inventory. Huge inventory costs and the risks associated with ROM-based cartridges are about to become a thing of the past. PlayStation technology continues with a powerful engine delivering digital experience. Multiple processors that carry the power of 500 million instructions per second, the same power found in high-end workstations.
5 dedicated processors in that thing?
And video at 30 frames per second. 3D animated graphics.
I didn't realize that.
Multiple camera angles.
I love that they used the footage of Paul Phoenix from Tekken riding a motorcycle from the Tekken 1 intro, because there's no motorcycle gameplay in Tekken.
Display at a somewhat more affordable price. And that brings me to the retail level. What about the PlayStation at retail? That's the true test. The technology and the entertainment delivered by the PlayStation will create tremendous excitement at retail. All of our PlayStation promises will be realized to retail fully. Consumers will be surprised by the power of PlayStation technology. Absorb an unequal interactive experience. And they will be sold in the name behind the PlayStation game. If events in Japan are any indication, consumers are going to vote with their dollars for the PlayStation. In Japan, under the leadership of Hirohito Tanaka, Sony Computer Entertainment has sold close to 1 million units of hardware and 4 million games since the launch in December. Now let me get to the best news of all, aggressive pricing that brings this only true next generation system into the home. Some of you might actually want to know what that price is. This is a beautiful day here in Los Angeles. I'm going to ask Sony Computer Entertainment President of America, Steve Ray, join me for a brief presentation.
Yeah, that's sick. I've seen this clip before, obviously. But it's sick to see him be like, come up and just drop that bomb. $299 is also not a bad price for a console. I think that's about how much I paid for my PS3. Like, what is that, 10 years later?
$299 retail price. We've achieved a magic mass market price point. This good news will be realized at PlayStation's launch, which as Steve announced last night, will be Saturday, September 9th. Then the gamer will find more than 20 PlayStation at over 12,000 retail outlets nationwide.
I do like, even in 1995, everyone was calling us the gamers. We were already the gamers.
But grow that market to the benefit of us all. The total entertainment pie is substantial. And as an industry, we are now in a position to enjoy a bigger slice than ever before. We at Sony believe that improved technology will light the path to a renaissance for this industry. And in partnership with the creative community, The retail community, we look forward to light users
The retail community.
that continuously renew our creativity.
Yeah, I'm really into retail. I've kind of been hanging out with all these. We call ourselves the retail community.
The interactive entertainment show.
We post about it on on AOL.
Sit back for a few seconds and watch a short video, and I thank you for the time you took to listen.
We take field trips to the mall. Is this about where like this style of commercial started? Because they kept doing this into the early 2000s. Like, is this the beginning of like the edgy stuff? Or was that like maybe around before then? I wasn't around in the 80s, so I couldn't tell you.
University of California School of Law. Ladies and
Or was barely around for the 90s.
Thank you, Pat, and good morning, everyone. Well, this certainly is a week of great excitement and celebration for the interactive entertainment industry, and that's especially true for those of us who have been involved in this business now for over a decade. For one thing, this show focused on our specific form of fun served, I think, to validate interactive entertainment as a permanent form of consumer recreation. Today, when this business could be dismissed as just a passing fad are fortunately long gone. And the future of this business would appear to be very bright indeed.
Take a shot every time this guy says business.
Relatively new and growing industry, we do face.
Might need to call the ambulance ahead of time.
That's what I'd like to talk about this morning. Incidentally, last week the Wall Street Journal said that some people in this industry think that I'm either a visionary or an idiot. I'm not really sure who these people are or which side of the fence they're on. But just to avoid any confusion, I decided this morning to wear my visionary hat. I suspect that there may be some in the audience who think that the challenges that our industry faces are distinctly Nintendo's. After all, isn't Nintendo the company that is still pouring significant resources and creativity into 16-bit video games when the industry seems intent on moving onward? Well, yes, we are, and we intend to keep doing it. We have no plans to abandon this huge installed base as long as we can continue to make entertaining games. And isn't Nintendo the company launching Virtual Boy, an entirely new type of video game? One where the interface is a pair of goggles instead of a TV screen where the graphics are truly 3D, but still monochromatic. Well, that's us. We're confident that game players are going to love not only
When did the Virtual Boy come out?
entertainment experience offered by Virtual Boy, but that they'll especially like the suggested retail price of $179.95 for this 32-bit experience with the game packed in. But no question about it, Nintendo has its own challenges, and I'm very confident that we will meet them.
Oh, we might see some Virtual Boy stuff.
This morning are really not unique to
Because it was launched in 95.
challenges that impact every interactive entertainment company. Certainly, one of the biggest challenges that we all face is how to continually
Sega Genesis and Atari Jaguar commercials both did the fast cut editing style, and edgy video game marketing is one kind or another was a part of the video game industry since the 80s, if not 70s. Okay.
explain how Nintendo has just this past week responded to
It seems to me, as a veteran of nearly 15 years in this industry, that the peaks and valleys of video game business over any given period of time mirror very closely the relative entertainment value of our games. I suppose you could even build a business model to show this. I call it the Game Player Boredom Index. And put another way, every time someone creates a video game masterpiece, they raise the entertainment bar for everyone in the industry. Let's face it, game players always recognize quality, and they enthusiastically flock to it. Witness the 7.5 million Donkey Kong Country cartridges that we have sold worldwide since last November. Likewise, once we give consumers a Donkey Kong Country, they naturally expect that everything else out there on store shelves and everything to come will be just as good, if not better, in terms of entertainment value.
Oh god, no, there's gonna be so many more bad games, dude.
For better games, that's really behind our decision to move the introduction of Nintendo Ultra 64
Yo.
in North America and Europe to next April. Once we introduce Donkey Kong Country, I'm afraid we...
I love that Nintendo had a VR console before they had a 3D console. True.
At the same time, we necessarily set a much higher quality standard for our 64-bit platform. I can tell you that Silicon Graphics and Nintendo have created an extraordinarily powerful new hardware platform in Nintendo Ultra 64, one capable of presenting seamless real-time 3D graphics. The SGI Nintendo engineering team has done its job. The Nintendo Ultra 64 chipset, the hardware, is essentially completed. But over the past 2 years, SGI's graphics technology has also enabled Nintendo to raise the entertainment bar on 16-bit gameplay. Our new Killer Instinct and Donkey Kong Country 2 games for the Super NES, which are debuting here at E3, and which will reach game players later this summer and fall, simply raise that quality bar even higher, beyond Donkey Kong Country, and certainly in my mind,
Where's the quality bar at these days?
of the 32-bit software being exhibited here at E3. Now, what this means is that the
I feel like it's not very high.
video games now under development for Nintendo
I think they lowered the quality bar.
simply must be better. Much better. Not just a little bit, but a lot. And Nintendo is going to take the additional time necessary to achieve...
Gearbox lost the quality bar while they were spending 10 years working on Duke Nukem Forever.
No question about it. In effect, we changed the rules again on ourselves and our third-party publishers. You will see completed Nintendo Ultra 64 games this November in Tokyo at the Shinkai Trade Show when we officially unveil the new product. And of course in Las Vegas at the Consumer Electronics Show next January. In reaching this decision, and in meeting this particular challenge, we have, I believe, remained faithful to the people
So wait, does Nintendo not actually have anything to announce?
that expect to be entertained by them. But every company must wrestle with
Announcing that you're going to be announcing things somewhere else is a bold strategy.
morning is to move beyond those kind of internal decisions to what I consider a far more dangerous challenge that confronts all of us in the interactive entertainment business. One which applies not only to Nintendo, but to Nintendo, Sega, and Sony, and indeed to all entertainment software publishers, regardless of hardware platform. And the challenge that I want to address this morning affects every person who whose livelihood is dependent upon the creation, manufacturing, marketing, and distribution of interactive entertainment. And as I introduce this challenge, I must admit that at first glance it appears rather benign.
Dude cannot hold this camera still. Come on, Anthony, get your shit together.
Video games popular, a machine to make counterfeit software. And the one displayed here is marketed under the name Super Wildcard. And that name is certainly appropriate because into the future of interactive entertainment, that's precisely what it represents. The Super Wildcard and products like it immediately
Is he talking about piracy?
the already daunting problem for software counterfeiting.
He is talking about software piracy. This was the beginning of Nintendo's reign of terror.
The prospects for protecting our businesses,
That reminds me, I have a couple of fan games I need to download before they get taken off of the internet.
our imagination, are downright chilling.
I'm not sure if any of y'all have seen it, but there's
Let me start by
a Link to the Past roguelike mod.
over
It
the
looks really cool.
months,
And another Mario game that's
try to put the counterfeiting story in context.
I think it's 2D.
The Business Software Alliance recently estimated the worldwide loss pirated business software at over $15 billion per year. Counterfeiters are now putting a dozen albums worth of popular music on a single audio CD, selling it for a couple of dollars. We know that bootleg copies of Disney's Lion King video were widely available throughout Asia, long before the legitimate product hit the store shelves here in this country.
So Nintendo had nothing to say but to make announcements that they are going to be making announcements later, and then had a lecture about piracy.
That the law to counterfeit,
Is that what's going on here?
whether for play on home video game systems or personal computers, is at least $5 billion per year. Let me focus a little more narrowly. In the last fully reported fiscal year, Nintendo realized it was $4.7 billion, all attributable to sales of home video game products. And our nearest competitor, Sega, had revenues of $3.4 billion, of which $2.9 billion were directly attributable.
Yeah, well, Sega's about to drop off the map.
Now, I think it's fair to say that along with a number of independent third-party publishers, Nintendo and Sega pretty much define the current video game industry. But this assessment ignores a third major player, the counterfeiters. Worldwide revenue losses to Nintendo and its third-party publishers last year alone from all pirated activity came to approximately $2.5 billion, and I suspect that Sega had comparable losses. So while it's common to look at worldwide market shares like this, Nintendo and Sega products are high, in fact, there is a much more accurate way to represent the current state of affairs. In the real world, there is a third major player, the counterfeiter. And his piece of the action is the most profitable because he sells products of Nintendo and Sega and others without bearing a nickel of our development, distribution, and marketing costs. There's always a temptation, I think, to ignore the danger of counterfeiting, to consider it just a cost of doing business, and to write off anti-piracy programs as a legal expense, something for our lawyers to focus on. Indeed, why am I even up here today talking about this problem when I could probably wax eloquent about the global benefits of playing video games or buying Nintendo products? Well, I'm here today because I happen to think that it's absolutely essential that we talk about this problem. This is something that requires heightened awareness on the part of all of us to play a role in what we hope will continue to be a growing business. And if we ignore this problem, or fail to keep it in proper perspective, we do so at an ever-increasing risk. Because, ladies and gentlemen, the bad guys happen to be getting much better at their work. Make no mistake about it. Let me show you what I mean. At the left is a copy of the legitimate Nintendo cartridge for one of the claimed mega hits, Mortal Kombat 2. And at the right is an all but identical counterfeit version. In many cases, the games play equally well.
I once had a guy get really mad at me online because of I have a N64 cartridge writer, and apparently just having that cartridge writer meant that I don't know. I guess he was implying that I was like a bad person. I suppose I'm not really sure what you'd really say, because I was like, the only thing it really does is decrease the profits of these retro game stores that are selling fucking Super Mario 64 for $700. But apparently that's bad. Apparently it's bad to do that.
Of the worldwide market for legitimate interactive entertainment products at something between 2 and 3 times current levels. Now think about that for just a minute. We're not just talking here about a challenge to the interactive entertainment business. We're also looking at a tremendous opportunity for this industry. Just imagine what it would be like if we could market legitimate entertainment software in places like China, Southeast Asia, India, the Middle East, Russia, and Eastern Europe, free of counterfeiters who are now polluting and destroying these potential markets. Consider this. The Software Publishers Association recently compiled a list of nations with the most egregious counterfeit markets. Here are the 4 worst offenders. Of all of the software currently in existence in India, 87% is counterfeit. Thailand, the percentage exceeds 90%.
I think I'm over this lecture. Let's see what else there is. No! Oh no. I hit the wrong button.
Protection of personal privacy is essential, but the same protection should hold. And think about the entertainment products that such a world would foster, not just the products created by multinational corporations, but ones created by individuals and new companies not yet even born. I think such a world is not only worth thinking and talking about, but it's a world that all of us in this room, all of us here at E3 can help create.
So I imagine he's talking about a world without piracy.
Yes, it certainly dwarfs the challenges typically identified by corporate executives who naturally tend to focus on their own company's success. But to me, it happens to be the biggest challenge and the greatest opportunity facing the interactive entertainment industry right now. So I urge each of you to join Nintendo, Sega, and the other companies in this industry who are out there right now fighting.
Sony not even worth mentioning.
All of us here at E3, I think, need to speak
Fucking
out
bodied them.
this very serious problem. We need to educate everyone who is entertained by our products about the need for protection of intellectual property. And if we do this, we're going to eventually win this counterfeiting battle, not only for our employees and for our shareholders, but for the sake of every person around the world
Yeah, no, this dude really just
who enjoys interactive.
had nothing to announce and decided to spend his entire 30 minutes talking about piracy. That was an awful showcase. Sony was the only one that had a good conference. And I bet the conference kind of sucked at the time because you didn't know what Sony was really capable of as far as video games are concerned. Rayman? I still think that's like a legit, super good ad. It feels 90s. It's got that grunge to it. Can we look at something else though, Anthony? Come on. Was that Anthony? Trying to figure out what video game this might be for. Blood Rain, maybe? Or is this just like something Sony is doing in like general? No, don't pirate our game. It's just a little guy. And it's her birthday, and I'm wearing glasses. You wouldn't steal games from a little birthday boy wearing glasses. Do you know of the Star Fox commercial? You'll know which one I'm talking about. Killer Instinct? That makes sense. Yeah, no, that makes a ton of sense. Oh, and the lyric is just killer repeated over again. Yeah, I should probably been able to guess Killer Instinct. That's pretty cool. I guess they still did have the interactive dances, they just weren't on stage. They're in the showroom. Is he standing on something? The Secret of Evermore. I don't think I've ever heard of this game. You don't recall anything specific about a Star Fox commercial? I'll play the Star Fox commercial after this. After I'm done watching E3. Yeah, this doesn't look like a game I would have enjoyed, which probably explains why I don't know what it is. I'm not the biggest RPG fan, They just take so long to beat. So if I'm gonna play an RPG, it has to be something special. Speaking of, by the way, once my hand heals up and I can use my hand to like squeeze a mouse again, or like a controller even, I might go ahead and produce some Oblivion. I know we still got to beat a bunch of Kirby games, but we're in fall mode now, so Kirby will come back. Kirby's not going anywhere. Okay. Nope, I'm clicked out of this one. Whoa! They died, chat. Just look, it's a different game. Whoa, that is a disgusting creature. Damn, how long does he play this game? This is a Castlevania? Rip Bozo. Which Castlevania is this? From 95? He just like me for real, for real? This looks kind of cute. What's this? Oh. What, Final Fantasy V? That's sick. Oh, it's like grid-based combat, so you can move around. Rondo of Blood, that would make sense. I want to play more Castlevania, because I really like the series, but they make it kind of difficult. Because it's long. Maybe we'll make it a point to stream some of that series after we finish the Kirby series. Lunar Eternal Blue? I feel like this is something I wouldn't have cared for at the time. Like, I feel like at the time, the anime stuff would have probably actively turned me off. Which is interesting, because I'm a huge weeb. Ooh, what's this? This must be one of the PlayStation ones, because this can't be Cruisin' USA. Although it's got a little bit of the vibe. The punching was really goofy there. He was punching like he was like a baby fighting with another baby. Just throw my arms around. This is Donkey Kong Country. What is this? Fucking disgusting. I've puked with more pixels. Killer Instinct? Oh. What the hell is this? What's with the egg? Oh, is that one of those NES converters so you could play your NES games on your Super Nintendo? There was a lot of that back in the day. Like, I have the one on my GameCube where I can play Game Boy games. But then there's also, like, the N64 had a Game Boy cartridge thing, so you could plug it in and play them. But those were only for, like, actual Game Boy games. Proto Call of Duty. That makes sense. Oh, this is Chrono Trigger. I don't know anything about Chrono Trigger, other than it's Vinny Vinesauce's favorite game of all time. I think I watched him play it, and it looked pretty good, but it suffers from the fact that it's a huge RPG, and I just don't have there's too many good games. There's like 500 million indie games. Secret of Evermore looked kind of creepy. It's another musical number. Yo, the thing that they got in the back, what was that? Like the dragon head? Yeah, that's sick. Looks like they brought in an animatronic. What the hell? Nintendo was really pushing Killer Instinct at the time, weren't they? Or, was it Nintendo? I think there's a Killer Instinct on the N64, so this was probably for PlayStation. What is this nightmare? Oh yeah, it's literally Centipede. Yeah, I knew that. I was testing you, chat. Obviously. What the hell? Yeah, I want to see the whole thing, so we're just gonna wait through this. What was your favorite conference, chat? Mine was the Sony. Nintendo definitely is like the worst one for me. If everybody says Nintendo, I'm gonna ban you in chat. You're not allowed to have incorrect opinions on this stream. Sorry. The SNES had probably more RPGs on it than any of its contemporaries, and then the N64 had 2 if you don't count Zelda. I don't know, I think I'd count Zelda. Wait, what are the 2? Because I could swear there were more. Hey, Chad, it's a company for you. Oh, wow. This is pretty crazy. I think that's a game I have on my list. I don't know what that is, but it plays exactly like Star Fox. Balls? I love Balls. I'm gonna vote Balls for best game of all time. I'm sorry, was that a... That's a 3DO. You know, I still think the 3DO was widely impressive. It was just too... we as a society weren't ready for it. I don't know if I'd ever want to go to like a gaming conference like this. I wouldn't mind going to like a con, I think. That could be fun, but... Because I'm sure I'm going to get sick if I go to one of them. I was wrong, there's 5. The 2 I was thinking of were Aiden the First Mage and Quest 64. Yeah, and then there's also Paper Mario. I would count both Legend of Zelda and Majora's Masks. Even though it isn't like a direct level system, I just still think it's more of an RPG than a like an action game or anything.
Super Burnout.
Man, look at all these consoles that I have no idea what they are. None of them were allowed any airtime. This was a weird. It was a weird era, and I think it was weird because of like the 3DO and the Apple Pippin, where any company could make their own game console. Is this Armored Core? I think it's Armored Core. They could make their own game console. So you had a whole bunch of like different game consoles, but some of them were just Apple Pippins and 3DOs. This looks like another RPG. Oh, he went back to that one. Nightmare Circus? The Murderous Jester has, whatever. Yeah, I think Gauntlet Legends, I think that's the one that's widely panned, because it strayed so far away from what like a Gauntlet game was. That could be fun for us to play sometime, because I'm pretty sure Gauntlet Legends plays a lot like Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. That's funny. Sony had a space for their satellite TV. Yeah, I imagine it's just like one big room, and they just have a whole bunch of like things playing. So probably hear more than just Tekken noises. Probably a lot of different ones. I don't know why it's playing like ass. The birth of the most legendary video game console. A world where Sony didn't make the PlayStation would be a very weird world for gaming. I'm not sure what repercussions it would have, but it would have been really weird. Like, so, Nintendo could never have a rivalry with Sega. They just crushed Sega too easily. Let's see what this is. Hold on. What? Kid. It just makes you want to rip someone's head off and pull their spine out their throat or whatever. I kind of want their font. I gotta figure out what font that is. I want to be able to make my own. You wouldn't steal a, you wouldn't download a car ads. I know I was goofing on it earlier, but actually 32 or 30 frames a second consistently in this era, it was never always consistent, but that was really good. I mean, like movies, you'd only see them in 24 frames per second. I don't know what this dialogue is supposed to mean, but it's got the same energy as Sports by Viagra Boys. Has the exact same energy as Sports by Viagra Boys. Oh, it's a cardboard cutout. I was wondering, like, what the fuck was going on there? Yeah, you really got to give it to this guy. Like, I didn't even think about it until just now, but recording TVs is not easy. Recording a TV, like, and he hasn't had any scrolling lines. He's been, like, dialed in on every single one of these. That's pretty impressive. Honestly. It's pretty sick. The DualShock became the blueprint for how controllers were laid out forever. If there was no PlayStation, we might have a world where every controller is modeled after the N64. I would hope that it would at least be modeled after the GameCube. I would hope that the N64 controller didn't last that long. Kind of skimming through it now. Hold on, it's pouring down rain. I'll be right back. I want to go look at this. It's one of those daytime showers. It's pretty sick because the lights, you can still see like a whole bunch of light. But yeah, it's pouring down rain out here. I'm glad they dropped the Ultra.
How do you know? Somebody told me. Who told you? I remember. Somebody told me that the guy they told some selling graphs and they said that the car not done yet, but it'll be done by April. But that's just what they said.
I still think the N64 or maybe the GameCube are like my favorite consoles of all time.
Continuing our leadership role by coordinating game design and marketing under one roof for both the arcade and the home. At the forefront of this new game is the colossal continuation of the Mortal Kombat series. Mortal Kombat 3!
Yo? Are any of these supposed to be the characters from Mortal Kombat 3? I don't recognize any of them if they are.
Mortal Kombat 3 is virtually guaranteed to be one of the most
That's cool.
home video game events of the season. And to make sure that this mega event is also a mega success for retailers, Williams is backing up this product release with the most comprehensive
The GameCube controller is almost exactly a PlayStation controller, minus 2 buttons, but the SNES controller is a Model 1 PlayStation controller minus 2 buttons, so... Yeah.
also plans for a new syndicated animated cartoon series. Live tours, Mortal Kombat the book, and licensed products, including action
Mortal Kombat Supper?
John at Williams Entertainment, we know that the name of the game is sales. And to make sure
Ah, okay.
consistently maintain position as the big name in game marketing. At Williams, we back up all our titles with our surrounding marketing strategy that hits gamers wherever they go, repeatedly. This strategy includes TV, magazine, radio, theater, arcade, and newspaper advertising, in-store promotions, major motion picture tie-ins, and reviews and articles in leading gamer publications. And it's a strategy that, when combined with our thrilling titles, has continuously produced phenomenal retail success. Another example of this retail success is that unqualified cyberspace mega hit, Doom!
Whoa. What? No way. Is that dude supposed to be Doom Guy? Search and destroy game because they didn't have PS like FPS or fucking boomer shooters yet. Search and destroy games.
Another area that's booming large in the future is the PC game market.
I'm gonna start calling them that.
Once again, you'll find that Williams Entertainment is the name in big games. In addition to intense action games like Mortal Kombat 3, our PC titles include entertainment for the entire family, with titles like Super Cards and Island Casino. And now, we've entered into an alliance with DC Interactive Software that will make even more of what is and cartridge titles available for the PC game market. But now, to complete the big game picture, Williams is continuing to generate excitement in the handheld market with a handheld version of Mortal Kombat 3. So, from arcade to cartridge to PC to handheld, over the last few minutes, you've seen what makes Williams Entertainment the name in big games. And you've also gotten a glimpse of some of the coming season's hottest home video games. Titles like Mortal Kombat 3 and Doom. That consumers will be fighting to get during the coming season. Because as we all know, retail is a constant battle. Tonight we have the power to succeed in the home video game market with hot tie-ups and heavy marketing support from Williams. The name in big games. Yeah! All right, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a big round of applause for these guys. Aren't they incredible? I just mine this morning, and I think for beginners they did pretty well. So go ahead, play our game.
That's pretty sick.
Get in on the grand prize.
What the heck, dude? Can just go around discharging firearms in front of cameras. This does look pretty creepy. It's like giving this era's like horror vibes, like Clock Tower, Alone in the Dark. Yeah, shooting people. Remember, kids, never shoot people. Even people you don't like. Guns are toys to be shot at balloons. Remember that, kids. Not people. Shoot balloons, not people. I wonder if this game ever got a translation. Because I still can't tell what it is, but I can tell that there's they're at like a Fox booth. It's a 1995 Warp Inc. So I'm not quite sure which one it is. I'm gonna assume that the game that they were showing for there was the Uchu Sabutsu Flopon Kun P exclamation point. But it could have been D. No, it looks like it was D. A video game that's one letter. Not very good branding. D could be fun. It's a FMV game, so it could be interesting. Gun violence is just plain rude, not to mention against IKEA company policy. Okay, I've seen enough Donkey Kong Country for the day. Yeah, let's see the blue blur. The Oni Plays crew played D once, and I think it was in English, but I don't remember for sure. I'd have to look into it. There might be an English patch by now, at the very least. There's a lot of the times where things eventually 20 years later get an English patch. Yeah, I saw those. I think this is it. Oh yeah, I'm looking for things. So I'm only like half paying attention to the presentation, but it looks like it's basically done. Rayman? Rayman's one of those series that I really wanted to get into, but never could. Okay, I think the rest of it is just gameplay, so bear with me for a moment. Oh, we need some songs. We gotta listen to something. Woke Sega would make Virtua Feelings and Gaytona USSR. Okay, here we go. I'm pretty sure this is the correct one.
And now, your feature presentation from Nintendo Power.
So Nintendo Power used to send VHS tapes, like promotional VHS tapes that had stuff like this on it.
Eagle has landed. I repeat, the eagle has landed.
I'm on him.
Diaper service.
You got the kind.
Sure, it's
Hey, aren't you the What's this about?
Quiet, bit boy.
Bit boy.
Questions around here.
Do you have to talk into that thing?
Word on the street is you got a new Nintendo 64 game coming out.
Could you be a little more specific? We got a lot of new games coming out.
Star Fox 64. Test pilot boy.
You want to know about Star Fox 64, eh?
Yeah, and you'd better tell us all you know. Or else.
Or else what? Or else
He gets it.
Plumber boy here gets
No, not Mario.
What are you guys doing with Mario?
Hey, knock it off.
Leave Mario out of this.
Start talking.
Okay. You've made your point. Star Fox 64 is the highly advanced combat game for the Nintendo 64. The Fox team includes Fox McCloud and his wingmen, Peppy Hare, Slippy Toad, and Falco Lombardi.
Falco Lombardi.
To destroy Andros, the mad scientist who declared war on the entire Lilac system.
This sounds like a fun bunch, but what do these guys drive?
Yeah, some beat up B-52.
You wish. In Star Fox 64, there are 3 vehicles for missions. For air battles, you've got the R-Wing. Check this out. This vehicle comes with all the latest cool moves. You can do barrel rolls,
Spew.
make U-turns, it can even do somersaults. And you can lock onto your enemies before blowing them away. And for battles on land, you've got the Landmaster tank. A totally brand new vehicle that hovers and rolls over enemy obstacles.
I remember the tank being pretty neat.
Then, for water-based fighting, you've got this subject.
I don't even remember there being water-based levels.
This baby fires torpedoes that light up the dark areas for better vision before taking out the enemy in front of you.
Here they come!
Listen to the real-time dialogue.
You're not getting away that easy.
Go for the 4 hatches on the underside.
Kind of makes you feel like you're part of the game, doesn't it?
Wow, this really is the coolest game out there.
So see? I told you.
Star Fox.
Guys, you don't know the half of it.
What? There's more?
Yeah. But Bob would kill me if I told you.
Well, we'll just have to get this Bob guy to tell us himself. Pizza for Bob.
Are you, Bob?
Pizza for Bob.
I didn't order any pizza.
I like that all these guys have like the thickest Wisconsin accents.
Peter? Glad you could join us. Bob,
Your test fighter pilot just spilled his guts about
Star Fox 64.
Peter! You didn't tell him about the Rumble Pack, did you?
No. Bob, you just see.
I did. You did.
Spill it, bit boy.
Make me.
With pleasure.
I love
Look at you.
I love the phrase "bit boy."
What are you doing? Not the Mario doll hooked up to the battery table, Coaster Cat! That's enough. That's enough. All right. This is the Rumble Pack. The big reason why Star Fox 64 is the coolest cinematic gaming experience there is. It's designed with a force feedback device that lets players feel the game.
Wait a second. You're telling me that this Rumble Pack actually lets players feel the game?
But, like you're actually in the cockpit, flying and fighting?
That's impossible.
Nuh-uh. Yeah.
It's wild that there wasn't always Rumble support in controllers. Obviously, I know that. But it's really easy to take that for granted. This bit was heavily referenced in an episode of Fox in Space. It's also the episode of Fox in Space that Vinny Vinesauce is in.
Feeds back a slight turbulent vibration.
I actually felt
But yes.
I told you. And when you get hit by enemy fire, you feel even more of a vibration. Cool. What's even cooler is when you crash your vehicle, that's when you really feel the vibration. This is incredible.
Well, what do you say, guys? You into a little multiplayer action?
Let's get ready to rumble.
Gentlemen, welcome to Versus Mode. Up to 4 players at once. See that? Each player has his own quadrant on the screen, and there are 3 game modes. This is fantastic!
I really disliked
Play this on Sega.
multiplayer mode.
Nope, only on Nintendo 64.
Like,
Well, what about PlayStation? Can you play this game on that system? Nope.
of all the things, I really did not think it was very fun. The multiplayer in this game.
Star Fox 64 is just one of the cool games we got coming out.
What?
You mean there's more?
Yup, check this out.
I think it's pretty cool that they used to have promo videos.
Man, that is one killer lineup.
Boy,
Like if you just buy a Nintendo Power, you get a VHS with something like this on it.
well,
I think that's really cool.
as much as we'd love to stick around here and keep playing with you guys, we gotta go.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Oh, by the way, have you seen this?
What's that?
That's the Star Fox 64 Player's Guide. It teaches you everything you need to know about the game.
Let me see that.
You can buy it at the store.
You can buy it at the
More
store.
gaming information? Check us out on the web at starfox64.com.
Thanks for the pizza, guys.
See you later, boys.
Yeah, that's the N64 promo tapes. One of the N64 promo tapes. There's quite a few of them, but that's the one. That's the best one. I've seen all of them before, and that one's definitely the best one. I think I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I would have liked to do the magazines. I have 3 magazines from '95. I'd like to do those, but it's going to require me to talk quite a bit. So until I can really talk a lot more, we're just going to stick with some more interesting videos. I've got a bunch of these. So if you're into this retro nonsense, you know where to be. You just show up here. But I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. I might be back this weekend. I may not. I will try and definitely be back on Monday for sure. I'd like to get back to my schedule now that I'm all done with surgeries and stuff. So I'll see y'all